Oh, we got a bunch of stuff.
Man, okay, Herb. I want to know, were you ever a fan of The Tick?
Yeah, actually.
Okay, cool. The Tick is something that I grew up with personally, like comics and cartoons, and was always really close to. All right, gentlemen.
No, not so much.
No?
Actually, I mean, I like putty.
Adam did not.
I
Adam
like
did
the,
not like fun.
I like the putty tick.
Okay, all right. For
I watched
live
a little
action.
bit of the cartoon series. It was all right.
Okay, well, I myself was familiar with every iteration, including the short-lived live-action series that came out a few years ago. Actually, a few years ago.
It's like
Putty.
15 years
It's
ago.
like 15? Damn.
You're old, man.
Well, you were there too. Stop.
I was there too. Yeah.
All right, this
I'm old
dude.
too.
Well, this
You're
is-
old fogey. You can't
So
do
this
this.
is the new reimagined tick, and this
Yes.
is also one of the 3 Amazon series that you could vote on. They had the pilot
Mhm.
up on Amazon.com for
Yep,
Prime
they
members
had
and
the
everything
Tick,
like
they
that.
had Jean-Claude Van
Van-
Johnson.
Jean-Claude Van Johnson
And do you
and
remember the third one? I don't even remember the third
I
one.
Love Dick.
That's
what it's called.
Okay, Adam,
Right?
Adam, this is not the place to confess. I'm asking a question here.
Ooh, set me up.
No.
The Kevin Bacon show. So yeah, but I was really pumped for Jean-Claude Van Johnson because I'm a Van Damme guy.
I thought that would have taken off too, but I'm kind of glad
They're
Tick did.
doing it. They're
Oh,
doing it.
they're doing. But
Yeah, yeah.
what was the purpose of voting?
Wait, they're doing all 3?
All 3 of them are
Oh,
having
sweet.
their own
Well,
series.
that's
So
bad.
Jean-Claude Van Johnson is premiering in a few months.
Oh, I
Okay.
can't wait for that.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. So
I hope it
but
has
the Tick
split.
is the first one to actually be released.
Mhm.
But yeah, so how was I didn't get a chance to really jump into this one.
Oh well, this one
Of course,
I
it's not.
I caught and I was watching with a scrutinous eye. Let me break it down for our listeners. If anyone doesn't know, Netflix has re-released a Tick series
Amazon.
based off of Amazon.
Mm.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Amazon has re-released a Tick series based off of the popular cartoon The Tick, which in itself was based off of the popular comic book The Tick, and it's a story about a blue guy
The
who's a
Tick.
superhero and his sidekick Arthur, and their interactions with a lot of wacky supervillains and a lot of wacky superheroes in a world that's just wacky in itself, which is one thing I always loved about them. Now, we got the live-action series a few years ago starring Patrick Warburton, which followed that original style. Gave
Putty.
more of a okay.
Sorry.
He
Keep
played
going,
he played
Putty.
a character named Putty on Seinfeld, which is an old and outdated reference, and I acknowledge that you're confusing the hell out of our audience.
Putty?
because-
There's no way.
Putty is 25 plus years old.
Yeah,
right
and
now,
then one
man.
of the biggest TV shows of all time.
True. Herb, how old are you, brother?
32.
Okay, maybe not Herb. Johnny, how old are you?
33.
30. Damn it. Okay, well, anyone
You're not
who's-
gonna get anybody not knowing Putty around here.
Well,
All right.
no, dude, please, man. Seinfeld is an ancient show. All right, I sat and watched a video last week of. No, you know what? I'm not gonna do
It's
it.
not here or there, yeah.
Okay, well, if anyone doesn't know, which most likely most of you don't, Putty was a character on Seinfeld. A more relevant reference would be he's the guy that plays Joe on Joe, the guy in the wheelchair on Family Guy. All right, this has nothing to do with the Tick, by the way. In this new Tick, in a world where superheroes have been real for decades, an accountant with no superpowers comes to realize his city is owned by a supervillain. As he struggles to uncover this conspiracy, he falls in league with a strange blue superhero. Very simple, very basic premise, and also very boring premise. This is The Tick. One thing we loved about The Tick, which I'm very upset this show doesn't do, is The Tick has always featured really out there supervillains, left and right, and out there superheroes. The city just rife with them. And that was an awesome thing that set The Tick apart because everything else, Batman operates in his one city and he fights crime, and there's crime all over the place, but it's the one superhero we focus on. You watch Smallville, not maybe you watch anything with Superman, and he's like the one superhero that does this. And The Tick was like, no, there's tons of superheroes all over the place, and they're all fighting crime, and there's tons of villains, and they're all
So
doing
you can
stuff, and
defer
there's action happening.
to other superheroes for certain
Yes.
jobs.
And this took it back to those realistic, well, not took it back, took it to those realistic bounds that The Tick has never really pushed, because that's not what The Tick should be, and it's not what The Tick has been in the past. And I'm not going to harp on the differences between series. I'm just going to say that I like the old Tick because of that, and this new Tick did not have that, and that's one thing I definitely took notice too.
Hmm.
This is the story. Oh, also, have you seen Shaun of the Dead?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember the asshole roommate,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Pete?
Yep.
Okay, Pete is the Tick. And I'm looking for his name right here. His name is Peter Seraph. Peter. That doesn't sound right. Yeah. Okay. Peter Serafinowicz. and I can never remember the full last name, so I had to look it up. I'm not gonna lie about that. But dude, this new Tick is more of a it seems more centered around Arthur than the Tick himself,
Oh,
which was a
interesting.
strange choice, unique choice, but it made it a more self-aware show.
That's how I remember the cartoon TV series being. Was it did follow as Arthur as the main character, and he is this sidekick to a superhero, the Tick, and there are other sidekicks to other superheroes,
Well, there are,
and
yes.
they are all essentially have no special abilities, no super. They're just ordinary people trying to help. Take care of the nuance, like the minutia, right? Sign the paperwork, dot the T's, cross the I's, maybe sometimes carry the gadget that the hero needs in order to save the day. They are.
What? You get this low opinion sidekicks.
Well, that's how they presented
pack
it.
the hero's lunch
Yeah.
every now and then.
Yeah,
they'll
that
make
was
sure-
how they presented
They'll
it in the
clean the
cartoons.
hero's cat box.
Yeah, that's how they
Nah.
presented it in the cartoons. The Tick, he was strong, right? He was doing his heroic deeds, and Arthur would try to do his own heroic deeds, but usually failed or fumbled every single time. The only thing he did have though was those wings, right?
I feel
So he
like
could
you were
fly
reading.
around.
I feel like you were reading some bad fan fiction. Nah, the
No, it's
original
from the
Tick.
TV series,
The original
the
Tick.
cartoon.
It made Arthur a character. He wasn't just like a random, decoy or background figure. Arthur was legit there, and a couple stories did revolve around him.
Yeah.
But he was not the main focus of the show. Oddly enough, if you're talking about the cartoon series, the main focus of the show was the heroes around the Tick. Like it would start off with an episode would start off with Deflator Mouse and American Maid are having an argument, and then they there's a I don't know, Chairface is doing something, and then the Tick gets involved. One of my personal favorites is the whole group of superheroes is going to this new bar for superheroes, and then a bomber comes up, and he's the crazy midnight bomber. What bombs at midnight? And that is where your story would lie. And then the conflict comes in because there's another superhero, quote unquote, called the Tick. So these were like the weird stories that the Tick was involved in, but he wasn't a catalyst. He was a component of these stories. This series has Arthur as the main character, and it's mostly about him coming into his own as a sidekick and accepting his role as part of the superhero team. And the Tick is just kind of like this figure who shows up every now and then, and he's not always
Is that
like
the whole season is like that?
most of the season. The last couple episodes get more into like the action and no realization of what we are and what we do, but most of it is Arthur's like, I'm not a sidekick. I'm a guy. I'm investigating this. I want nothing to do with superheroes. I want nothing to do with villains. I just want to prove that they exist. Okay, cool. So you want to prove that they exist so you can bow out?
Right.
It's a weird
It's kind of lame.
point of view to come with. Well, that's one thing that bothered me because I was a really big fan of this type of comic story where it's not a direct good and bad story. It's more these things exist in the world and we tackle them from a human angle with lots of comedy in between.
You're right.
I will call out Peter. I'm not gonna try to say it again. I will call out Pete from
The guy who
Shaun
plays
of
the Tick.
that does him a complete disservice. His name is Peter Serafinowicz. And I will call out his Tick because, one, the guy's not American. He's English.
Yeah,
And-
I was about to say.
Yep, and he does a pretty good American accent. Not just American accent, but the real heroic focus on words and
He's
such.
got to be very bolsterous.
Yeah. We have to fight evil, old chum. One of those.
Yeah.
He does it pretty well. Everyone got used to, well, it can't be anyone but Patrick Warburton. And I think he's pick up the man like, no, I can do this too. Check me out. And they changed the suit from the original pilot. It's no longer that kind of like amorphous, more bug-like, I always thought was gross appearance like it had in the pilot. They made it a more smooth. It looked more like the old live-action Tick suit.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to say too much on this because there's not much to say that's not negative. I mean, I do like that they had a couple of different villains with abilities, but it ran more like a continuous story than a bunch of individual serials, which it should have, I think, because that's one of the things that allowed the Tick to show different characters and made the world fun to be in. And this was more, I'm tolerating these episodes.
Oh.
You know, that's what really got me.
You're just
Sound-
trying to get to the end just to finish it.
Yeah.
And that sounds like crap.
So it sounds like they had one big, story arc in mind, but unfortunately it was this very mundane, somewhat boring, and too serious of a tone type of story that they
Absolutely.
What's interesting is the show is
Absolutely.
still The Tick. It's about The Tick. It's named The Tick, and we're taking it from the
Arthur's
Arthur's
point of view.
with
Well, I
The
was
Tick
like,
being as kind
if
of a
the
side
tick,
story.
if it was Arthur's point of view, but the tick was always there, that'd
Right.
be cool. I'd be okay with that. This felt like have you seen those commercials with the fighter Canelo and Sylvester Stallone? Okay, it's this line of commercials for it's a beer commercial,
okay.
and Canelo's basically just trying to live his life. He goes to a barbecue, he's like training in the gym, and the random points, Sly Stallone just comes out the cut and harasses him for no reason. And he keeps telling him be bold. And just like this dude, he's just trying to work out. He's a fighter, let him box. And then and Sly Stallone's on the side with a big ass belt buckle. Be bold, showing him the belt buckle. The guy
That's just good advertising. I don't know what you're talking about.
dumb. He's at a barbecue. The guy's got a black eye because he's a fighter. And then Sly's like tapping him on, like poking him in the chest and stuff. Hey, be bold. Put this, be bold. Like, and one of my personal favorites is the dude's like he's in an ice bath. And Sly just walks in, and for no reason, hey, be bold. I'm like, what do you want from me? He's taking a bath.
Have a beer.
It's well, that's what it felt like. Arthur's like trying to do his investigation, and Tick pops up, hey, be a hero. Like, dude, let him do his thing. He's trying, and he doesn't want to get into this fist fight.
Well, it doesn't sound like something I would be interested in.
This
doesn't
bummed.
really sound.
I had such high hopes for this dude.
You
I
did.
was excited, and it brought me back to. It's just another. This is an internet show I would watch once and not watch again.
Bummer.
Yeah, and I mean, I can't recommend it, dude. I really can't. And you have no idea how much I wanted to. I was all in for this, and then man,
They should have just called this one Lyme disease.
Damn.
Certainly want to
okay.
stay away from that.
Well, no, I get it. That was well placed, but it's like I'm too hurt to laugh.
Too hurt to laugh.
I'm too hurt to laugh.
Sorry, buddy.
No, it's okay.
I know how much you care about
You should
this.
call it Lyme disease. All right, man. But it's the Tick series from Amazon. It's available now. If you've got Amazon Prime, it's actually available free.
Free. Yeah.
But you know what? It was free for me, and I want my money back. That's all I'm gonna say.
I want my next re-up for Prime to be $98.
All right. Oh wait, nah, dude. Hold up. Our next review is one I know Johnny's been salivating for.
Oh yeah.
All right. The movie is Birth.